On the way to Crawfordsville from Lafayette, one travels through Linden, Indiana, notable for the home of the Monon Historic and Technical Society. When approaching Crawfordsville, one will cross Interstate 74, travel on 231 through the city to the south side to the high school, where one can begin the Sugar Creek Trail from the northeastern corner of the high school. The boardwalk from the high school going down into a ravine is the beginning of the trail, noted by a yellow sign. From there, the trail goes through a small woods, up a hill onto a street, and begins an 8-foot wide asphalt pathway, turning westward and following a serpentine path near the road that goes west of town. The trail then turns north and goes through a woods for a mile or so for a goodly distance. This very scenic area is away from the road and is quite the pastoral scene. It is near Crawfordsville, and one would never quite know at the time that the General Lew Wallace house and study is there, and he had quite the career as a general and the territorial governor of New Mexico. The old city jail, which is circular, the Montgomery County Courthouse, and Wabash College. But after going through the woods, one will come to the Big 4 Arch Road, where there's a trailhead which marks the northern end of the eastern section of the Sugar Creek Trail. From this, the Big 4 Arch Road trailhead, one will have two choices to connect to the western section of the Sugar Creek Trail. One way is to go west on the Big 4 Arch Road and go north on Skank Road. The other way is to go north across a field up the Ballast Hill to the Peoria and Eastern rail line, which is in place. Walk one's bike along the stone ballast. But at the end of the rails, which are rather rustic among trees, providing a wonderful scenery at many times of the year, the rails give way to a wide stone path and then to an asphalt surface, which begins a 2-mile trail all the way to the Sugar Creek Bridge. It is on this asphalt trail where the rails of the Peoria and Eastern Railroad used to run, from Peoria to Danville in Illinois, then running eastward through western Indiana, including through Crawfordsville, on to Indianapolis. Along the way of this western portion of the asphalt pathway, one rides through a high fill of the railroad, passing basically over the floodplain and wetlands and farmlands area adjacent to the Sugar Creek Trail. The trail comes to the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, which is over the Sugar Creek and is built on the top of the old railroad bridge. The bridge ends with a gate which is closed during the hunting season. However, for the rest of the year, it is open for a walk to the next county road. While on the bridge, one can look over the railing through the balustrades and through some side areas on the bridge to see spectacular views of the river and the trees and the scenery around the river, and to even look to the side and down along the side of the bridge, which is rather massive and fortunately was saved when the rails were removed. This Sugar Creek Trail and Sugar Creek are both wonderful assets that Crawfordsville has and are definitely worth visiting at any time of the year. Check with the Chamber of Commerce or check indianatrails.com for further information.